Are ya? Rise and shine. Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 30th. This is Coffee Talk. How are ya? I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. We get together 7 days a week here to chat about what's going on in the world of weather. Hopefully get your day started off on the right note, get you updated on everything there is to know. And if it's an excuse for you to drink a little coffee, then let us do it, right? All right, rise and shine. There's a lot to talk about today. Jam-packed with nerddom to the oomph degree. We are going to get into the weeds, my friends, but then again, you're watching a half an hour daily weather forecast discussion on the social media channels or listening to it on our podcast platforms, so you probably expect a little bit of nerddom. All right, first and foremost, we're going to be discussing climbing temperatures because that's going to be impacting all of us. Sure, we'll take you neighborhood by neighborhood through the day. Plus, that's a wrap. Oh my gosh. There's only one hurricane season that I've been more excited to see in the rearview mirror. And that would be back in 2004 when Central Florida got hit by 3 hurricanes. This year, we only got hit by 2. Yuck, 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 yuck. Yeah, so we are going to be discussing how the forecasts went. How did the WESH 2 hurricane season forecast rate? We're going to be looking at all of the data. The good, the bad, the ugly, all through the next few minutes' time on Coffee Talk. But first, let's look outside and see how things are this morning. I want to make sure you're covered as you get your Wednesday morning started. There's a look in Melbourne, Brevard County. Rise and shine. It is lovely. The sun is shining bright. The temperature's comfortable. It's not as cool as it was, but still pretty okay if you ask me. Can we just take a minute? Something isn't right here. Palm Bay, I guarantee you're not at negative 49. Cool beans, though. I'm going to venture you're around 70. So we'll just pretend that that's not that case. 70 in Melbourne. It's 65 in Titusville. 66 degrees in New Smyrna Beach, lower 60s up to the north into Flagler County, Palm Coast at 61, 62 degrees in the Villages, 60 degrees for us in Ocala. So it looks great, it feels great. Unless you're in Palm Bay, then you really need that jacket. How does that even happen? Somebody needs to go turn a screwdriver or something. All right, here's First Warning Live Doppler radar, and it is lovely outside. No rainfall to speak of. We take a look at our 12-hour forecast. Palm Bay, Alaska. There may be a shower or two today, but it's going to be overall a pretty nice forecast. Just a few additional clouds in there, okay? 77 11 o'clock. 81 by 1 o'clock and 84 degrees, our high temperature on the day. It's looking great. Yeah. Interesting that Tommy says, I want another hurricane in Florida this year. Okay. No. No. Laura says, I miss the rain. I feel ya. I feel ya. Brandy, good morning to ya. Lovely forecast today. We do have the cold front that was bringing and continues to bring nasty weather to the deep south. That cold front moving our direction. So here's a look. And first off, let me just widen this out a bit more. Look at the potency of this thing. Unfortunately, there have been tornadoes touching down in many locations overnight, just as we had expected. Certainly not ideal. The one ideal part of this is that as of 8 o'clock-ish, when I last checked, no reports of any serious injuries or deaths. And when you talk about an overnight tornado outbreak, a late-day tornado outbreak like what we've seen, and there are no reports of injuries or deaths, hell, that's a win. There was plenty of warning with this. And I'm so grateful to see, at least for now, that to be the case. I hope that continues. But a nasty storm system. For us, yeah, that front is moving our direction, but all of the energy is going to be riding up the front. And thus, we are not looking at any concerning weather for us. A few showers, but nothing truly concerning. So let's get over to Futurecast and time this all out, okay? Here we are this morning. Looks fine. We'll put this into motion and I'll bring it full screen for you. There's lunchtime today, still looking good, all right? Watch how by 2:30, as that line approaches us, it really loses its energy. We're not talking about any concerning severe weather. We're not talking about anything massive. Late day, added clouds, and our Futurecast model essentially says not even any rainfall. So we have dropped the overall rain coverage a bit today. At one point it was like 30-40%. Now we're at like 10-20%, honestly. There will be a few showers, but it's not going to be anything massive, and that is a point of being grateful for sure. High temperatures, plenty warm. Not really thinking to record levels, but plenty warm. 84 degrees in Orlando, 83 degrees in the Villages, 80 degrees in Palm Coast, about 82 degrees in Daytona Beach. So looks good, feels good, definitely warmer than maybe you would like. It's 76 the average. Now, to put it into perspective, the closest area I think to seeing record will be Orlando. Your record today is 84. Excuse me, is 86. I believe it's 86. See, now I'm misspeaking, and hold on. Stand by one. I'll check this. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, that's average. Stand by. Okay, yeah. So 84 is the forecast in Orlando. 86 is the record. And you can see every one of our reporting stations should be close-ish, but we're not getting to record levels. So there's that. All right. So that's kind of the overall idea. That frontal boundary will move through. It will help to kind of reiterate this lower humidity, very comfortable air mass. Today, the humidity's up a little bit. Thursday, Friday, that humidity drops back off just a little bit. And then, yeah, we pick things up from there. I do want to point out, though, that even though in Central Florida there's not a threat for strong to severe storms, there is the threat for strong to severe storms into the panhandle of Florida. There's a tornado watch in effect for Panama City, Pensacola, Mobile, and parts of Alabama. That runs until 11 o'clock this morning. So if you do have friends or family in that area, just make sure that they are weather aware. All right. So far, so good. Debbie said, I sat up last night watching the Weather Channel as the tornadoes were popping up on their screen. So scary to see all the damage. It's scary. And I would venture to say that the advantages of having better technology, it allows us to know if there are tornadoes on the ground. It allows us to know the threats of tornadoes. Our computer modeling has gotten pretty darn great. And we knew days ahead of time that there was going to be a severe risk. The severe risk today significantly lower. Yesterday we were on a level 4 out of 5. Widespread strong to severe thunderstorms. Today, a level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms in the Panhandle. Not us, but our friends in the Panhandle still have a threat. Not as widespread of a threat, but there could still be damaging, destructive weather. Laura, did you wake up for the sonic boom? I did. And there was no sonic boom. I woke up, started tweeting, and then realized after tweeting, oh yeah, SpaceX has already delayed the thing. So technical issue, ba-boom. Oh well. Such is life. So that just means tonight we get another opportunity. 3:37 tomorrow morning. Gonna do it again? Yeah. Looks like a pretty good probability. Hold on. Just want to make sure. Because I saw Kellyanne updated this, but I thought that the weather was not as ideal. Hold on. Okay, so it actually should be 80% probability. Stand by. Let me fix this. Stand by. As I say, I thought that the POV was a little different. I'll fix it. We'll show it. We'll do it live. I'll fix it and we'll do it live. If you know that reference, giddy up. All right, so 80% chance of good weather for overnight tonight into tomorrow morning's launch. This is a moonbound payload, but the significant point of this is once again that there will be the sonic boom. So about 8 minutes afterwards. So didn't get it this morning. That just means I'm going to have another alarm clock set for tomorrow morning. Twin sonic booms anticipated about 8 minutes because the first stage will be returning to the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station Landing Zone 1. Super cool. It all depends on the winds, right? Like if it makes it in. But I would love to wake up and hear the, I just think that'd be cool. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. Any other question? Oh, let's look at the 7-day forecast, and then we've got to talk some tropics, people. Let's just take a moment and review our 7-day forecast. All right. So for today, 20% chance of a few passing showers, especially late in the afternoon, and especially north of town. The further north you are, the better the opportunity will be for some rainfall. Okay. So there's that. Not too bad. 84 degrees, our high temperature today. Then a cold front moves through, helps to drop things off a little bit. 74 our high temperature tomorrow. That's a 10-degree difference, y'all. I'll take it. 79 Friday and into the 80s this weekend, into early next week. So it looks great. It looks beautiful. And yeah, while we do have a brief cool down, it's not going to be a long cool down. But at least we've got a lot of sunshine in the forecast. And after getting a couple of hurricanes this season, I certainly think that we will take that. Taylor says, wait, so it didn't launch? What the hell was rumbling then? Your stomach? Did you need to get something to eat? Taylor, you tell me. What was rumbling? I thought the launch was last night. It was originally scheduled for last night. It just didn't do its thing. Oh, well. Gannon says, I woke up overnight around 1, checked, it was rescheduled. I canceled my 2:45 alarm. Yeah, my alarm went off. And then I started tweeting without even looking. Like, what kind of a rookie mistake is that? I just started tweeting without looking. Good gravy. Yeah. Oh, well. If I don't hear it, I'm sure the dogs will let me know. That's it, right? Yeah. I'll try again tonight. The baby thought midnight was playtime. Oh, Laura. Don't they always? They always do. Oy. Maybe something from the airport. Could be. I was already awake this morning, but as I was making coffee, the house was making this steady noise. And I'm like, that has to be a DC-10 going overhead. There's such a distinct tone from the old school tri-jets on approach. And sure enough, it was an MD-11. Okay, so it has upgraded avionics. It will always be a DC-10 in my book. And it was a DC-10. It was either a FedEx or a UPS DC-10 on its way in. All right. Today, friends, can we make a nice hard transition? Today, the last day of hurricane season. Yeah. And I'm already ankle deep into my new hurricane season forecast. No tropical development expected over the next 5 days' time. And it was quite an interesting season, wasn't it? By the way, hopefully no tropical development in the next 6 months' time. I need a couple of months to work on my hurricane season forecast. You don't realize the work that goes into this daggum thing. So let's talk about the season in numbers. All right, this is Colorado State University's forecast from June on the left, the actual numbers on the right. We actually had 14 named storms, 8 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes. If we want to get into some analytics here, all right. 14 named storms. Last year through today, we had 21 named storms. The 30-year average is 14.2. So we are right at average when it comes to named storms, okay? And we could even dive deeper. I didn't make the graphics for this, but if you want to dive deeper, we can do that. When it comes to hurricanes, we had 8 hurricanes, okay? 7.1 is the average. So a little uptick there. Major hurricanes, we had 2. 3.2 is the average, okay? But I think a really good metric is the ACE, the accumulated cyclonic energy. This year, our ACE number 95.1. The average over the last 30 years is 121.7. So in all accounts, this was an average, or if you look at the ACE value, a below average season. All right? Interesting stuff. So, in review, Colorado... Now, everybody has updated their forecast, through the season, but I'm using the before season stuff because I want it to directly line up to our WESH hurricane season forecast. So, June, like the first or second day of hurricane season, Colorado State puts this out. 20 named storms, 10 hurricanes, and 5 major hurricanes. And if you recall, we had Dr. Phil Klotzbach on Coffee Talk. All right. And I want to be very clear. None of what I'm saying is to try and knock Dr. Klotzbach or his team, or NOAA and their team, or WESH and our team. But I want to just review where we were. We had entered into a La Nina year once again, and the expectation was La Nina always breeds higher than average tropical activity, or at least that's what it usually does, right? So Colorado State University had called for 20, 10, and 5. They did drop their numbers through the season, okay? Now, NOAA, my only issue with NOAA's hurricane season forecast is that they're like, bleh. Their forecast called for 14 to 20 named storms, 6 to 10 hurricanes, and 3 to 5 major hurricanes. So it fell on the very low end of their spectrum. But in text, they said they're expecting another above average season. All right. So we knew that it was going to be impacted by La Nina. But one thing that in our WESH 2 2022 hurricane season forecast that we worked on was we looked at the analogs. And by the way, you can read our full 2022 hurricane season forecast. It is still posted unmodified from March 1st. You can still head to wesh.com/hurricane season. Stand by. Hurricane forecast. wesh.com/hurricane forecast. Not only is it published in its entirety, untouched from March the 1st, but our 49-minute coffee talk from that day is there as well. And you can listen to us discussing this hurricane season at length, okay? Now, our hurricane season forecast, we addressed activity and we addressed location. This was our forecast put out March the 1st. We expected near average named storms, near average hurricanes, near average major hurricanes. Everybody all of my colleagues that don't study the long range hurricane tracking methods that we use thought that we were nuts. What do you mean near average? Colorado State, no, everybody's calling for it. Well, we put ours out way earlier than everybody else anyway. So they're like, wow, y'all are going out on a limb. And then when everybody else came in and said above average, above average, above average, it made everybody say to us, y'all are out on a limb. A colleague that I've had on Coffee Talk as well, Craig Setzer, said, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And when we met up in Boston, Craig, it was a very quiet season thus far. Craig said, boy, if it's near average, you guys are going to get quite the win. Now, because NOAA has such a big gap, they are able to say what they're able to say. But for us, we flat out said in text a near average season. And one of the big reasons was because while sure, La Nina typically gives you an above average season, we were entering into our third La Nina. And historically, we have seen this happen 4 times since 1991. The ACE numbers were already low. In those 4 times, the ACE or accumulated cyclonic energy at the bottom, averaged out to 109.2. The average since 91 is 122.6. So that 109.2 told us right there it was going to be a lower than average season, right? And as a matter of fact, if you look at these numbers, the third season, 14.5, 7.3, 2.3, that's basically what we got. We literally followed the analogs. So I am incredibly happy with the forecast that we put out on March the 1st of this year. And again, go and read the article, wesh.com/hurricane forecast. We haven't touched it. It is there as it was on March the 1st. We talk about this part here around like 28 minutes into the video, I think. I know it's a long video, but if you want to be a nerd, be a nerd. How did we do in terms of locations? Here's our hurricane hotspots, and here's the tropical systems that impacted this year. I'm just going to sit right here. Huh. Okay. I'm going to take another sip of coffee, y'all. Stop being cocky, Burris. I'm not being cocky. I am super impressed that the science allows this sort of thing now. I don't see any Texas or Louisiana landfalls. You know? Yeah. So I would say this year was good. Out of the landfalls this year, they all fell within our landfall hotspots. And the timing. And we got the numbers. I love expanding science. And this graphic is the exact same graphic. Here's the landfall hotspots graphic that we put out in March. I haven't touched it. This is it. All I did was I plopped on tropical systems on top of it. It's not being cocky. It's being like, holy crap, science gives us the ability to do this. I love science. Y'all, March 1st, this graphic was made. Like, okay. Anyway, I can't wait to do it again. We're already working on it. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Tammy says it's okay to be out on a limb as long as the branch is strong. I mean, you know, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking, you know? It's nerve-wracking. There were moments where it's like, oh boy. There always is, but it's nerve-wracking. Will you get a boat for Chris? I don't think I'll get a boat. My forecasting abilities say no. Brian says, Nerdy Eric is taking a moment as cocky Eric, and as well. I don't want to be cocky, but you know, at all, because science, Phil Klotzbach said it, science has a way of humbling you. It always does. But I'm just amazed that science allows this sort of thing. Oh my gosh. And by the way, y'all, I have my annual review with my boss today. You think I may have to bring in some color, some of these printouts? Yep. I think I might. Yep. I'm going to do that. I have my annual review today. I'm under contract, so it's not like if it goes poorly, they're going to fire me. I did just sign a new contract. So you're stuck with me at Wesh for a little bit longer. Unless they choose not to. Anyway, it's good stuff. Steve, what is your biggest takeaway from this hurricane season for you? I think, if I'm honest with you, Steve, I think Phil Klotzbach said it right. Mother Nature and science have a way of humbling you. That's why I don't want you to think I'm being cocky. I'm amazed at science. But science has a way of humbling, right? And you're not going to always get it right. They do amazing work at Colorado State University. And I will do everything I can to get Phil Klotzbach back on next year. I admire his work. I love talking to him. But when you think about it, our methodology in our hurricane season forecast is different than his methodology in his hurricane season forecast. And what it all shows me is that no matter how much we learn, there's more to learn. Seriously. No matter what you learn, there's more to learn. Teleconnections, analogs. There's always more data to study. And that's why we're deep into our hurricane season forecast for 2023, because we're already studying patterns, which mark your calendars now, March the 1st. Jeremy Nelson and I will have a long coffee talk. We're going to be discussing the hurricane season forecast. You know? Sorry I'm late to get here. I overslept. Got up at 3 a.m. for the launch. What happened, Lynn? They scrubbed it. Oh, well. So, yeah. But different methodology yields different results. But I think that that's my biggest takeaway. I think, looking at things like this, like going into a third La Nina, there was a clue right there. There was a clue right in there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. There was a clue in there somewhere. Oh, it looks like Facebook is offline, huh? That's weird. That's weird. I apologize to y'all that you're trying to connect on Facebook. Well, will we get hurricanes in Florida next year? Is it going to be a bad season again? We're working on the forecast. Too early to tell. All right. Facebook is down. My sending to Facebook is down. So I apologize, y'all. I don't know why that's a problem. All right. At any rate, that's our hurricane season forecast. Pretty much verified. I'm very happy to say. We called for a near average season. We got a near average season. We called for these to be the landfall hotspots. They were the landfall hotspots. Yeah. Interesting stuff. All right, people. Any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap this pup up? Anything? Rosebud says we're still here. I see you on YouTube. Yeah, my viewership just went way down, and it's because Facebook dumped. I wonder what's going on with Facebook. My apologies. Any questions, comments, concerns about this at all? Otherwise, we can wrap it up. I'm just grateful hurricane season is over with. I'm grateful for an opportunity to get to share with you my nerddom in long-range hurricane forecasting. And I'm grateful that the forecast served. I'm grateful that it perhaps helped Floridians realize that we were in threat this year. And so I'm grateful for that trust that you've placed in me, and I promise I will always work hard to continue to earn that. And please don't take anything I said today as being arrogant or cocky, because believe me, Mother Nature will humble you down. It really will. Working in television will humble you down. So nothing was meant that way other than to say, I am just so excited that science allows this sort of thing. That's what I love. I just love it. All right. So in the meantime, warm today, not quite as warm for tomorrow. We'll have plenty to chat about these next couple of months, but mark your calendars, friends. March the 1st, the 2023, I can't even believe it'll be time. The 2023 hurricane season forecast will be issued. All right. That's it for Coffee Talk. I don't believe I'm on TV today, but we'll have an afternoon Coffee Talk at 3:30 and we'll chat more, all right? All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you at 3:30.